Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Deep Cuts Reactions and my name's Greg, and I was over on the NZOZ 1984 page today and just kind of pulling stuff at random. So I don't know what I'll end up with, but this is John Paul Young, who I guess is pretty famous, and the reason I chose it is because the song is named War Games, which is, oh my God, so appropriate right now, with our insane war in Iran. But anyway, let's just give it a listen. This is the video on all that. So, John Paul Young.
Life becomes so predictable and far too real. So good night, America. Good night, good night. Good night, America. Good night, good night. They're playing war games in the video arcade. They're playing war games in the video arcade. They're playing war games in the video arcade. War games in the video arcade. Twilight alone in your bed, the sounds are in your head. Your fingers twitch and push your imagination. The combat zone, the wind in your hair, a helicopter blade is chanting like a choir boy in the jungle heat. So good night, America. Good night, good night. Good night, America. Good night, good night. They're playing war games in the video arcade. They're playing war games in the video arcade. They're playing war games in the video arcade. War games in the video arcade. War games in the video arcade. They're playing war games in the video arcade. They're playing war games in the video arcade. In the video arcade. They're playing war games in the video arcade. Playing war games in the video arcade.
Well, super long fade out there, but the video kept going. It's just the aerial shot coming back. I like that. I like that. He's got a good voice. And, normally I really don't like synthesizers. I love piano and I love, good solid Hammond B3 organ, but I don't tend to like synthesizers much. But for that song, it was perfect. I mean, just perfect. So, that was cool. And what a thoughtful song, and yeah, it is appropriate, to what's going on now. I love the imagery in the video, all this dystopian stuff. Of course, I grew up during the 60s and, got out of high school and all that, in early 70s. And so, for me, we all grew up under the threat of nuclear fire raining down on us any old time. I mean, people built bomb shelters, and, we received training as kids in school to, duck and cover, and we had a little, you could build this stuff here in Oklahoma without people thinking you were nuts. You could build a fallout shelter, but it was just tornado shelter. That's what you told everybody. So we even had one under our grade school, these tunnels down there that we'd get down in, when we were doing drills. But, so we, when you're raised that way, I mean, for one thing, I think it helped put some of that hippie shit in our head, because the world could end at any minute. So why not experience everything you can, have as much fun as you can, just because it was kind of a nihilistic attitude, but that's influenced literature and art, since then too. But it's dystopian future, where you're trying to dig out through the fallout. I'm sure that was really aggravating for people in Australia, because you guys didn't have nukes, and you're just totally at the mercy of the U.S. and the USSR, as to what your fate might be. It's just, God, that would be a horrible feeling. But anyway, I did enjoy that. It was so weird. I was talking to my son-in-law yesterday, and he's a veteran. He put in like 21, 22 years, something like that, in the Army, and he saw a lot. He saw a lot of stuff, and we got to thinking about it, and and we're back at war again. And the U.S. has been at war, God, as long as I can remember. I mean, for the most part, we had World War One, then World War Two, and there were some things in between there, but it wasn't, really us. But World War Two, and then we almost immediately went into Korea, which was a really ugly, bitter war, and then we got out of there, and wasn't but a few years later, here we are in Vietnam. And we get out of Vietnam, there's a pause, but there were a lot of little wars that we did in between, down in Grenada, and other places in Central America and stuff. We were definitely dicking around and doing stuff. And then, 9/11 happens, and we go to war in Afghanistan and Iraq, and stay there for 20 years, and then we go to war with Iran, and it's going to screw up everything that we did, anything positive that we did during the Iraqi war, because, of course, you got the Sunnis and the Shias there in Iraq, and they had come to a, fairly reasonable, compromise in the government. So this destabilizes that, along with the rest of the Mideast and everything. But anyway, it was just interesting to think that, my God, we sure do love our wars. We're just at them all the time. And we've got a couple of real warmongers up there in the White House and the Pentagon right now. So we'll see how things go. Every day it's something different. You never know what he's going to do or what he's going to say or whatever. And the stock market goes up, the stock market goes down, the price of oil goes up, then it goes down, all dependent on a few words out of the president's asshole. So it's a strange world we're living in right now. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll be back. So hit like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and we'll see y'all then. Bye-bye.